Did you know that astronauts who board the International Space Station age slower than the rest of us while in space? That the International Space Station is man's greatest achievement ever recorded in history? In this video, we're going to take you through the top 10 most mind-blowing facts about the International Space Station you have never imagined possible. But before we begin, remember to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell down below. At number 10, it's the biggest man-made object in space. The ISS is the biggest object ever made by man in space. With a length of about 355 feet, the ISS could fit in an entire football field. Approximately, the space station has about 930 cubic meters of space. This large space is very necessary for storing equipment and amenities that sustain this station and its crew members. Only a third of the total space is habitable. It's very interesting that an object as big as the International Space Station, with a weight of over 450 tons, is able to float in the air. At number 9, unbelievable speed. With a speed of about 17,500 miles per hour, the ISS is one of the fastest objects in space ever built by man. This means that the ISS takes 1 second to approximately cover a distance of 5 miles. With this incredible speed, the ISS is able to circle the Earth every 90 minutes, and the astronauts are able to experience the sunrise and set 16 times every 24 hours. It's so fast that it could go to the moon and back within a day. At number 8, built by a total of 15 countries in the world. The ISS has been built by 5 space stations comprising 15 countries across the world. The 5 space stations include NASA, Russia's Roscosmos, the European Space Agency, the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, and the Canadian Space Agency. The crew member who boards the ISS is chosen depending on the contribution of each country to the whole process. These 15 countries have all been represented as crew members, with the addition of 3 other countries who are not members. Number 7. The Robot Astronaut. Did you know that the ISS has a robot crew member? Yeah, well, it does. The Robonaut 2, popularly known as R2, was the first ever artificial crew member of the ISS, having been first on board in 2012. With features almost the same as humans, the robots are very useful in helping the crew members perform various duties and tasks that appear very risky and dangerous for humans to engage in. With the use of electric fans, the robots are able to propel themselves to freely fly around the space environment. They also have sensors and cameras that can help them see to ensure they safely pass and navigate through various places in the space station. As time goes by, we wait to see other new robotic developments that'll come along. At number 6, the law in space. The law that guides the conduct of whatever happens on the station is the International Space Station Intergovernmental Agreement, IGA, of 1998. This agreement outlines the basic legal issues of ownership of the various components of the ISS. Essentially, the member states can extend their jurisdiction to the given components that they own and to their specific crew members only. This means that each astronaut will only be under the obligation of the laws of their countries alone. The members of the crew are hence subject to different laws. Fortunately, it's not common for the crew members to engage in crimes in space, and thus the laws are rarely applied. The most recent case of a crime ever being committed in space was in 2019, when it was alleged that an astronaut illegally accessed her husband's bank account from the space station. Moving on to number 5. It's hosted more than 250 astronauts. On a normal occasion, the ISS has a 7-member crew on board. Since its inception more than 20 years ago, there are different categories of people who have had the chance to board the ISS. Over the 2 decades, research shows that over 250 astronauts from more than 18 countries have had the opportunity to board the space station. The US has had the highest number of its astronauts, totaling about 150 US citizen astronauts visit the ISS, followed by Russia at 52, Japan at 11, Canada at 8, and about 5 from the European Space Agency and other countries. At number 4, astronauts on the ISS age slower than the rest of us. The astronauts who board the ISS come back to Earth having aged less than they would have. This is the principle of relativity. The faster you move, the less time you spend, especially if you're moving at relatively high speed. Boarding the ISS to space is, however, not a ticket to staying young forever and never aging. The difference is actually very small, with astronauts aging 0.005 less than the rest of us every 6 months. Number 3. Visibility from Earth. Did you know that you can actually spot the ISS from Earth? The ISS is the second brightest object in the sky during the night after the Moon. Always appearing as a bright, shining, light, thin airplane, it is possible to see the space station with your naked eye, especially more clearly during the night or at dawn or dusk. Its ability to reflect sunlight makes it even more visible. If you'd love to spot the space station in the sky, you can simply go to the NASA website and sign up for text or email alerts anytime the station will be passing over your area. At number 2, built over a decade. The first ever space station segment, popularly known as the Zarya Control Module, was launched in 1998, with many other segments following it, including NASA's Unity module. Within a period of more than 10 years, since President Reagan signed off on the building of a space station in 1984, and after more than 30 missions, the space station was finally completed and fully operational in 2009. And finally, at number 1, astronauts drinking their own urine in space? Imagine you're far away in a deserted land. You're thirsty and run out of water. The only liquid near you for your survival is your pee. Would you drink it? Well, since 2009, astronauts on the ISS have had no other affordable option. Launching supplies to the ISS is very expensive. To reduce the amount of water supplied to the station, the ISS recycles astronauts' urine and other wastewater into drinking water. The water purification system on the ISS has high-tech filtration systems with very strong acids that treat the urine into hygienic water, ready for drinking. And that's why they have this slogan: "Yesterday's coffee becomes tomorrow's coffee. Cheers!" But even with that said and done, the International Space Station remains one of the biggest treasures ever conceived by man. And in this new era of great technological advancements, we remain curious to know and see what new developments will arise. In the meantime, let's know your comments about the International Space Station in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed watching this video, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell down below to continue watching many more amazing videos from this channel.